Can hear you. Hello, hello, hello. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Bear Bear. Thank you so much for stopping by for the Sunday video update. Today's date is Sunday, January 15th, 2023. Joining me off camera this week is my dad, and Amy's out in the kitchen. She's on the phone with somebody. I'm not sure who, or her son. Okay, so she's on the phone taking care of business. You probably caught me conversing with her as I was coming on air. I hope you've all been doing well. I hope you had a great week. My week was fantastic. Um, Friday, of course, being the highlight of this past week, as I announced last week that I was taking my friend's son to the Shrine Circus in Flint. It was a lot of fun. Um, I don't want to give away too much detail because I'm not sure if the shows in Flint are going to be duplicated in Saginaw this coming Friday, which the three of us are going. And I still have one extra ticket available, by the way. I'm trying to figure out who I can take with us. Um, we have an idea, but nothing is etched in stone yet. Dad's talking to a friend of ours who has a little boy, and we're going to see if it's okay with them. And if not, not a big deal. I'll just have to find somebody else. But anyway, it was a wonderful time at the Shrine Circus in Flint. Um, yeah, it's just fun. He had a lot of fun. And I took him back home to his grandma's because he's currently living with his grandmother. And he talked about it the whole way from Flint all the way back home. And because he's sitting in the back seat and he's playing on his phone or whatever, and he's got like 3 swords because I spoiled him with a bunch of souvenirs, but he's got like 3 swords, a dog with gears and motors on a little puppy. It squeaks. And oh yeah, he had cotton candy. We went to Subway, and he had a meatball sub, and I had a 6-inch BLT sub. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I gave him some change so he could, try his luck at the claw crane machine. Didn't have any luck, but he tried. But when we got to the circus at the Dort Financial Center in Flint, man, he enjoyed it. He had so much fun. At first, I was a bit worried because he was kind of sitting back and he was kind of, like this. But I'm sitting there thinking, fuck, he's not going to enjoy the show. He's not liking what he's seeing. But then it started to get better and better and better, where they invited the kids to actually, stand up and start clapping their hands and shouting and hooting and hollering as kids do. And then he started to get into it. And I'm kind of just sitting back and I'm watching him like this out of the corner of my eye. And he's having fun. He's doing this number. He's shouting, yeah, and he's clapping his hands. And I'm just sitting there kind of, all right, he's coming around. I told him he could ride an elephant. He could, ride a miniature pony if he wanted. He could have a picture taken with a snake because I had all those exhibits. And he didn't want to, and I wasn't going to force him to do it. But I told him the options there if you decide to change your mind. But he had a blast. He had those beads you get that, like, just the beads, like the Jerry beads, but they're not Jerry beads, obviously. He has a necklace of green beads on it, and he got it from one of the clowns at the circus. So it's like, okay, all right. I'm trying to give some specifics, some details without actually giving away the acts or whatever. But I can say there were clowns. Obviously, it's a circus. And Snowball was there. Snowball was there. So for those of you who don't know who Snowball is, no, the people who are watching may not know who Snowball is. So Snowball is, I'd say the costume is about 9 foot, and it's air inflatable. It's a mascot polar bear suit. And they come walking out. There's a clown who's, I'm going to be giving some of it. I don't want to be a spoiler alert kind of a person, but in order to tell the story, I'm going to have to kind of talk a little bit about that. Matter of fact, because it was in Saginaw last year. So there's a clown who came out and he had a white stuffed animal polar bear, and he was setting it down, kind of, smacking it around a little bit. And then Snowball, this 9-foot tall, mascot inflatable, polar bear, come walking out from the back stages there, and he's beating up on the clown. He's hitting him or whatever, and then he knocks him to the floor, and then the next thing you hear, rip, sets on him, rip. And the kids thought that was funny. It was just a great time. I don't want to give too much of that away, but that was probably the highlight of the week for me, was taking my friend's son to the Shrine Circus. And as we were walking out, he says, "Man, I want to come back. I want to come back tomorrow." And it's like, well, we can't tomorrow, buddy. But the Shrine Circus, I think, is going to be in Flint until tomorrow, because there were, I think, 7 shows. And then this coming Friday, they're going to be in Saginaw. The 3 of us are going, so that's going to be number 2 for me, going to the circus. But this week, Friday at 7 o'clock, Dow Event Center in Saginaw, the 3 of us are going, and I'm trying to find out who the 4th person is going to be, because when I bought the tickets, it was a family 4-pack, and I have yet to find out who the 4th person is going to be. We don't know yet. But enough of my ranting for now. How was your week, Dad? Pretty good. Yeah, that was something else I was going to talk about. My dad's stepbrother, Ron Rose, had passed away. We learned of his death a couple days or so after, because his stepbrother used to get Meals on Wheels, and the people who deliver the food had found him in his house. So yeah. So there's another loss in the family. Yeah. Nobody's watching though. There's nobody from our family who watches our videos, Dad. This is basically just friends who have found this channel, or haters, depending on the scenario. But there's no family watching this, and if they are, I would only hope that they would make themselves known in chat. So there's that. Yeah, everything else is going well. I've been busy running here, running there. Amy, how was your week? Good. One word. Good. Maybe that's probably the best way to describe a week. It was good.
It was good for a change.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you tell Amy where we were going the other night?
The casino.
Did you tell her about what?
I told her when we got back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dad and I, last week, we says, well, let's just go for a ride. And it's like, okay, I'll drive. And we ended up at the Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant, the slot palace. Dad says, here's $100. It's what? Yeah, $100. Go play. It's like, okay. So I stuck 100, or I stuck 40 in the machine, because I had to go break the 100 to get some change. I stuck 40 into the machine because I play the Sizzling Sevens. They're the quarter machines. And I won $50, and I cashed it out. And after that, I couldn't win anything else.
Now, see, that's what happened with me.
But I didn't throw it back in. I cashed it out, put it in my pocket. Then I stuck other money from that same 100 into the machine, and I ended up losing that. So what I walked out with is exactly what I fucking walked out with. I didn't throw it back. And after, because Dad didn't have any luck at the little one either, so we went across the road to the main casino, where they have like concerts and comedians and stuff. The big names show up at Soaring Eagle. And Dad and I meandered off into this section of the casino called the VIP Lounge. And there was a winner, a big winner. It was on a $5 machine. Someone had won $4,000. And Dad and I were standing there at the machine, and one of the attendants comes up and he looks at me and he says, "Well, congratulations." And I said, "Well, we didn't win that." And Dad's kind of looking at me like big mouth, but there's cameras. And I'm not about to claim something that's not mine, and I end up getting in trouble. Yeah, so the guy actually went after he won the jackpot, he disappeared, he vanished. Because I guess he was looking for his wife to let her know that, hey, I kind of hit big here. And when the other attendant came walking out, she asked the guy, she says, "Well, how would you like that back? Which denominations of bills?" And he says, "All hundreds would be fine." And she says, "Okay, you got it. Wait here, I'll be right back." So she came out with his money and a tax form from Uncle Sam. Because of course you have to pay taxes on that stuff. But he said that was the most he had ever won in his life. But he said he stuck $100 bill into it. Well, I can't prove it either way. Well, yeah, well, you never know, Dad. You never know. You can't prove it unless you were there to witness it. I have no way of verifying that, but if he did get lucky just on $100 bill, well, good for him. You know, I don't think I would ever. Actually, I can't say that. I went to another. It's a branch of Soaring Eagle. It's called Saguenay Eagles Landing. It's in Standish, which is north of Bay City. There's a casino over there, and it's owned by the same Indian tribe. There was a guy who had $10,000 in one machine, and when I saw that, he says, "Oh, I'm only down 1,000." It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're down 1,000? I don't know, that it was just weird. A lot of money was floating around. But when we went to the casino last week, Dad and I did, I won $50. That was it. Couldn't win anything else. And then we just said, fuck it, let's go home. So I stopped and got us a bite to eat. And then from there, we came through Midland and came back home. Going that way. We didn't go down Meridian Road. It's just you drive and drive and drive, and it seems like you get nowhere going that route. But yeah, last week was a busy week. I had a lot of fun, and looking forward to this Friday having more fun at the Shrine Circus again when they come to the Dow Event Center in Saginaw. By the way, chat logs are open. If you'd like to come in and say hello, you're more welcome to do so. I kind of had given a brief outline, but I kind of given a brief outline in my chat log. I shouldn't have to explain how to behave in chat, but if you come in, and if you want to have a conversation, that's great. I'll be more than happy to talk with you, but you're going to behave yourself or you'll get the boot. Because rest assured, I'm not the only moderator in my chats. I've got Amy as a moderator, but whether or not she comes in, it doesn't really make a difference because I'm here and I can still do I can chat with the keyboard and I can give people the boot, which I've done numerous times. I don't have a problem giving anybody the boot if they're going to come in being stupid and saying stupid shit. But if you generally want to come into chat and you want to have a conversation, please do. I welcome and encourage that all the time, every week. They're talking a storm this coming Thursday. We're supposed to get some snow. Now, there's two computer models. One computer model shows that the storm is supposed to be parked over Flint and Saginaw, and we're going to get some significant snow, significant enough to where we're going to need shovels and snow blowers. But then the other computer model is showing that the storm might miss us to the north. We actually dodged a bullet this past Thursday with a storm. There was a low pressure system that was moving through Ohio, and they thought for sure, the low pressure system itself was going to be back far enough to where we were going to pick up some precipitation in the form of sleet, snow, freezing rain. But luckily, a good bulk of that storm had missed us to the east. So it was all mainly in the thumb region. Flint didn't get anything. I think maybe a light dusting, because when I took my friend's son to the Shrine Circus this past Friday, the roads were actually clear. There was no snow on the ground anywhere. So we actually everything lined up the way it was supposed to, because I was kind of afraid that the roads were going to be slippery when I, you know, had taken my friend's son to the Shrine Circus. I was a little leery about that because I didn't want to drive on ice and have someone else's life in my hands, especially the life of a child in my hands. But it all worked out good. It all worked out really good. Um, so anything from the past week that you wanted to talk about, Amy, or because
My surgery completely done and I'm completely healed.
well, that's good.
Yeah. And now the sinuses are kicking in.
Yeah. Yeah. The change of the weather is, you know, it sucks having seasonal allergies. Actually, it sucks having a compromised immune system like I do, because
I had that too.
as most everybody knows, and I explain this time and time again, I've explained it ad nauseum in the past on this very channel, that me having cancer as a child, I went through chemo and radiation, and it had really weakened, it liquidated my immune system to jello practically. So I'm very, I have a high susceptibility and a low resistance. So I am very easily able to contract viruses and colds and things like that. Um, it's not a very pretty picture when I get sick. I don't like being sick. And certain people come over here when they're sick, and I specifically have to tell them, if you're sick, don't fucking come over here. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to catch what you have. I can't afford to be sick, and I don't want to get sick. And speaking of affording, you can't afford to be sick. I just found out last week that I don't have a family doctor, and I thought I did. So now what I have to do is I'm going to have to set up an appointment to have a physical done so I can try to get a doctor again, because I didn't realize that after 3 years of inactivity, no appointments, they actually drop you as a patient. So now I have to go back, do it all over again, and get that squared away. Which, it's not a problem, but it's like, wow, no one told me. I didn't know that after 3 years of not going to a doctor, they cancel you. I thought that when you had a doctor, you just had a doctor, period. But that's not the case, obviously. So I'm going to have to go back and set up an appointment sometime this week. There's no mail delivery tomorrow, by the way, because it's Martin Luther King Day. So no mail delivery. And I think most government buildings are going to be closed tomorrow in observance of the holiday. So, no mail. And I'm guessing that most federal buildings won't be open either. So if you were expecting anything in the mail tomorrow on Monday, you won't get it.
Right.
Mail doesn't run tomorrow. It's a holiday. I'm okay. And I had another can of pop over here, but that's okay. Yeah, tomorrow's milk day. But yeah, so there's quite a bit going on this week. So tomorrow's a holiday, and of course on Friday we're going to the Shrine Circus, and I'm trying to figure out who we're going to be taking as a fourth person. My buddy Joe. Joe, how's it going, brother? He says, hi, brother. Just wanted to say hi and see how you and your family are doing. We're doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Amy, she's quiet over here on the couch off camera, and Dad is just opening a can of Pepsi.
Hey.
That's my buddy Joe, my brother Joe out in Kansas, I think. Yeah. Not giving any specific locations in Kansas. I don't want to put out there exactly where he lives, but
How's Toto doing?
How's Toto doing? My dad wants to know. Yeah, click your heels. Click them 3 times. But it's good to see you, Joe. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that's my buddy Joe. We're actually friends on Facebook, and we don't talk as much as we used to. I'll be changing that up. I just get so busy and carried away doing other stuff, and I know how it feels though when you have friends and they never make an attempt to speak to you, and you reach out to them, and yeah, I understand the frustration, and I feel like I've done that with Joe, not ever reaching out and checking on him, and I live with that regret because Joe is a good friend of mine. Yes, in Kansas, Toto is walking the yellow brick road. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I have a habit of doing that too, and it's it's not intentional by any means, but I know the feeling because like I said, I have friends that I would love to hear from and don't because they're busy doing other things or they've got other plans going on. And I always tell people, if you really don't want to talk to me, then don't make an effort and I'll stop making an effort. But I understand that's the adult way of life. We all get busy. We're all doing things and we all, go in different directions, but I will be making better attempts and efforts at speaking with Joe Smith. Um, because he actually is a cool dude. I used to go on you remember Pogo, the online game site Pogo, which I don't think any of us use anymore. Yeah, that's the same Joe Smith. Yeah, yeah. The hippie Joe, right, Joe? The hippie, right? But yeah, we met on Pogo many years ago. He and his fiance. I am I using the right word, Joe? Are you? She's your fiance, right? I don't want to say something that may be inaccurate, but we met on Pogo many years ago, and we've just been staying in touch ever since. By the way, Joe, I don't use Pogo anymore. I haven't been on Pogo in years. They still have it, but EA Sports had taken over and they had really changed everything around. Um, yeah, I don't care if I ever go back to it really. I hardly after a while I just lost interest in it because you win tokens. Yeah, it's like I want some cash. I mean, yeah, you got to pay for the membership. But yeah, I want to win money. Well, if you wanted to win actual cash, you have to pay. We're all good with conversation. I do check in with you, and it's okay. Yes, we are engaged. Okay, I just didn't want to say anything inaccurate or out of line. I didn't want to put words in your mouth, but yeah, Joe, I'm gonna do better at keeping in contact with you, and maybe we'll make plans. Maybe I'll fly out to Kansas one day, and we can hang out and shoot the shit, make a weekend. Um, yeah, because we've been friends all this time, and I don't want Joe to think that I'm putting him on a back burner because, like I said, I know how that feels, and it sucks. It really sucks. But yeah, we all get caught up and wrapped up in other things, and I see Joe on Facebook. He'll go to the games with his buddies. He'll go to football games and baseball games and stuff. So it's all good. But he lives in another state. I live here in Michigan, of course. Um, we cross paths on occasion on Facebook, but again, like I said, I will do better at communicating with you and your fiance. And by the way, his fiance is a sweetheart. She is adorable. I love her to pieces. She has a delicious personality, and she's really super sweet. So yeah, I am definitely going to make better attempts. But yeah, Joe, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you. Always have. I've always appreciated you. I appreciate all my friends. Even the ones who don't, like I can get mushy on Facebook and my Facebook posts. I am known to be mushy, get emotional and things like that. But I really and truly do appreciate the friends I have. And the people who didn't buy into the bullshit that other people were trying to tell them, and they're like, no way, not Jared, we don't believe that for a second. Joe is one of those people who did not listen to the bullshit, and he's a brother from another mother for show. So thank you, Joe. I always appreciate that. No, I don't feel like I'm on the back burner. We get busy. I understand that you're a hell of a guy and your family is awesome. Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. And you're a hell of a guy yourself, and you, sir, are awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, and And this is a Joe that I can tolerate. This is a Joe that I actually like. Yeah. Yeah.
Or my brother.
Yeah. This Joe is actually a friendly, nice Joe. He's a good cup of Joe. There's a couple other Joes I know, and fuck them. Fuck them both. I like this Joe better. Because this Joe that I'm talking to isn't an arrogant, egotistical asshole like the other Joes I know. This is a good Joe. So, Joe, what do you know? No, Joe, this Joe here is awesome. He's one of a kind. Yeah, I was going to ask you that too, how the weather is in Kansas, because I heard that the southern United States was getting tore up with tornadoes, and there's like 70 people got killed as a result of severe weather. But Kansas isn't in southern United States; it's in the plains, I believe. I think Kansas is in the plains region of the country. I'll give him a chance to respond if he's still in chat. I want to give him a chance to respond. Oh, my nose itches.
I know the Kansas City Turnpike, they had tornadoes down there.
Been keeping busy, and the weather today is 60 degrees.
Wow. Wow.
Fucking lucky. It's only 35 here.
Yeah.
And you said it was warmer out?
It's warm outside.
It might, well, that might be the wrong temperature. Might need to be updated.
It's nice out there today.
I don't know the temperature here. I don't have my phone handy because I could ask Siri what the current temperature is. But yeah, Kansas is in the plains, right? In the plains region of the country, Joe? I can't remember. I'm trying to the geographical locations. I'm trying to play this over in my head, and I'm trying to remember if
39 degrees.
Kansas is okay. He says yes. Kansas is in the plains.
Oh, okay.
39 degrees.
So it's 39 in Oakley. And Oakley. So it's above freezing. I mean, it's not warm and it's not above freezing by much, but hey, I'll take it. We're close to 40 degrees. And because Joe lives in Kansas, the capital of Kansas is Topeka. And how I know that, I don't fucking know. How I know that, I don't know, but his capital is Topeka. And I'm sure he'll correct me in chat if I'm wrong, because he's cool like that. But I think Topeka is the capital of Kansas. I'm almost certain that it is. I make it known on Facebook and even here on YouTube that Lansing is Michigan's capital, because I mentioned Lansing quite a bit. I love smack dab. Right, I live smack dab right in the middle of the United States. So is it Salina or Salina? Long I or short I, Joe? If it's long I, then it would be Salina. But if it's short I, it would be Salina. Yes, as in Salina. Long I or short I? I'll give him a minute to respond. He keeps saying yes, but I don't know. Yes to what? Long I or short I? Because I want to pronounce it correctly. If I come out there to visit you, I don't want to, make a fool of myself by mispronouncing your hometown. Because all the people in town are going to be like, this motherfucker's not from around here. He's saying the names wrong. But I will say that, there's a lot of people even in Michigan who mispronounce our the locations in Michigan. The first Salina. So it's Salina, the long I. Salina, Salina. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So it's pronounced Salina, Kansas. Okay. I remember. That's the name of a street in Saginaw too, Salina Street, and it's in a bad part of town. Yeah, and it's spelled just like that too. The name of the street in Saginaw is spelled Salina. In Saginaw, Michigan. Yeah, they have a Salina Street, and it's right off of M13, I believe, South Washington. Yeah. But yeah. Because like I said, I don't want to show up in your hometown and get laughed at by, I mean, I'm an out of towner. So of course, if I mispronounce anything, I'm going to be laughed at. I'm going to be made into a laughing stock, which I don't mind. If I could,
Laugh with 'em.
if I can make anybody laugh, that's a winning day for me. It's better than crying. Which it seems, I started out this new year with a bit of optimism because the past year has been rough. It was shit all the way around. And so when the new year happened, I told Dad, I want 2023 to be the best fucking year ever. And I want to be able to do as much as I can with the resources I have. And I just want to make this year wonderful. Now, I've got travel plans that I almost had given away a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to really divulge into that too much, but I do have travel plans for 2023. I'm not saying where I'm going.
We got travel plans.
And these two have travel plans, but I want to make the best of this year. Matter of fact, we just lost a couple of celebrities. Lisa Marie Presley had passed away, and Bachman, the drummer from Bachman Turner Overdrive, he died, and he was only, I think, 69 years old. So excuse me. So the year really isn't starting out the greatest for a lot of people. Now, in my life personally, I want to try to have the best year I can. I want to do more. I want to see people. I want to celebrate life. I want to celebrate life with people like Joe and many other friends that I've become friends with over the years. I want to celebrate life. I want to make memories. And I just want to spend time with people because there's been a lot of people dropping like flies recently. And not saying that there's anything wrong with me, which there's not to my knowledge, but I feel pretty good. Health wise, as far as I know, I'm doing pretty good. But I want to make the most out of this year as possible because I don't want this to be another copycat year of, let's just sit around and sulk. Or let's just go to the bar and not do it. Let's not venture out away from this specific location and try to, just check things out just to get the fuck away for a while, to get away. I want this year to be different. I want to save up some money so I can get some airline tickets. By what I understand and what I've been seeing, the tickets are actually cheap right now. The airline tickets are actually dirt cheap.
I think it's because of the COVID. They couldn't get a
It's
lot
the
of
beginning of the year too. The beginning of the year, the flights are always cheaper. But here's the thing. I don't like to I don't want to purchase airline tickets when we're in the dead of winter, because my luck would be I make it to my destination, no problem. But if we get impacted with winter weather and the flights get canceled, then I'm going to be stuck in the location where I am until a flight is available. And I don't want to overstay or push my welcome with the people that I'm visiting with. Yeah, well, in general, I want, to make sure that there's not going to be any major winter storms or any bad weather. Because when I was in Louisiana back in 2019, I was with the Anthony family, and I was going to come back home that day. And the last day I was going to come back home because the flight was scheduled for Baton Rouge to Atlanta, Georgia, back to Detroit. And because there was severe weather in Detroit, they had to ground the flights and they had to reschedule again. It was a fucking mess. And it's like, I'm sorry. It wasn't intentional, but I did get to stay an extra day with the Anthonys, which, by the way, I love the Anthonys. I talk to them on occasion. They're good people. Ava and Kennedy are sweetheart kids. And I just love spending time with them. But that's the thing. I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to push my welcome with people, especially when I only plan to stay maybe for a weekend or whatever, hang out for a weekend. And plus I have to figure out, do these people feel comfortable with me sleeping in their house? Because if they don't feel comfortable, I can always save up enough money to make motel reservations. but that hasn't happened yet. Most people who want to see me want me to stay with them, which is nice because it saves me some money. And more above anything else, I've earned their trust, which is why they allow me to stay with them in their house. They know that I'm harmless. I'm not gonna do anything I'm not supposed to do. I'm not gonna, hurt anybody. I just need somewhere to sleep. I just need somewhere to crash. Um, when I went to New York and stayed with friends in New York, that was the very first time I'd ever gotten on a jet. It was scary as fuck at first, but then I got over it. And then, being 40,000 feet in the air, I'm looking down at everything like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. My ears kind of popped a little bit, but it's like, this is cool. I've gotten over that fear. I know lots of people who are afraid. They're scared to death of getting on a jet plane. And I mean, everybody has a phobia. Everybody's got a fear of something.
You were nervous.
I was nervous, but I wasn't scared. Everybody's got a fear of something, but I had to face it.
That's just like when I told you about the air pockets.
Yeah.
Where you hit the air pocket.
I'm so glad you got past the drama. That's awesome. It's good to watch all your good videos and know you're traveling around and getting out a lot and venturing out and living life. Yeah, Joe. I'm glad I got past the drama too. I just reached a point in my life where I said, fuck it. People are going to talk no matter what I say or do. And if those people want to believe everything they're told about me, that's their fucking problem. I'm going to continue to live my life and surround my life with people I love and care about as yourself. And I'm going to make the memories. I'm going to have the conversations. And those people who can't look beyond rumors and gossip can fuck right off into purple oblivion. And I'm going to live my life. But back to what I was saying about the fear of flying. Yeah, I did have a very known fear of flying. Like it was prominent to a lot of people. It's like, I want to meet these people, but God, I'm afraid of flying. And then one day I decided, you know what? Fuck it. These people are worth facing the fear, the people that I love and care about, and they truly want me in their lives. They want me to be with them and to spend some time with them. They are worth facing that fear. So I gone ahead and faced the fear. I had ordered purchased the airline tickets online, and I'm not flying out of Detroit ever again. Fuck that place. It is a train wreck waiting to happen. I don't like flying out of Detroit. I'll probably fly out of Lansing or Flint. I haven't decided yet. I might fly out of Lansing if I decide to go where I'm planning on going, and I'm not going to give away the place where I'm going, but I might fly out of Lansing because that visit's going to be very special to me. And then there's another place I want to go, which is also special, by the way. I might fly out of Flint for that one. I haven't decided yet. There's a lot of arranging and planning to do yet, but I am looking forward to meeting so many people that I have been keeping in contact with for all these years. And I just need to know, first of all, is the weather going to be nice? Where they're not going to have to halt flights or ground the flights because of severe weather. And where am I going to sleep? I don't want to sleep in the street. I don't want to sleep in a fucking dark alley somewhere. I want a nice, warm, cozy bed to sleep in. If you don't feel comfortable with me crashing at your place, let me know beforehand. I can make motel reservations. I'll do what I got to do. I'll save up whatever amount of money I'll have to save up in order to make sure that things work out. But there's a lot of people who, yeah, they got to get to know me a little better and know that my instincts and my personality is good and I mean well, and I'm not trying to harm anybody. It takes time to get used to that, but we'll see how things go. True. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Joe's really having a conversation.
It's, I should have thought a long time ago. I should have thought this through a lot better a long time ago. I should have had the attitude then that I have now, as in I don't give a fuck anymore. And I don't give people chances to come in and destroy my name or to say shit about me. and then, try to convince other people of the bullshit that they're spewing. I should have had this attitude in the beginning. It would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of heartache. If I would have known right at the outset what people were going to do and what they were like, I wouldn't have wasted so much fucking time trying to keep certain individuals in my life. Now I have set up boundaries and built walls to keep people out that I don't want in my life anymore, because they turn out to be two-faced, backstabbing pieces of shit, and they belong on the other side of that wall, and they have nothing to do with my life anymore. They needed a reason to be against me, and now they've got it. But I'm not dwelling on that anymore, because I'm dwelling on the life that I'm living now. And I'm trying to focus on having a good year, and I'm trying to focus on maintaining the friendships that I do have, because there's lots of wonderful people in this world. It may not seem like it at first, but the world isn't bad. There's people who watch the news. I watch the news every day. I only watch the news to get the weather report, and even that's depressing at times. But it's far better to know that the sun is going to come out eventually than to listen to bullshit about school shootings and the government. They can't get their shit together, and people who are just hurting each other for no apparent reason, because they don't agree with what they hear or what they see. The sun does come out eventually. That keeps me going. And that's what I wait for. That's what I live for. I watch the news specifically for the weather reports. It sounds poetic and it sounds silly, but I watch the weather for that reason. I watch the news for the weather reports, because eventually that sun has to come out. And we know that the sun is out every day, because the daylight that we experience is evidence of the sunlight. But I want to actually see the sunshine. And I think we all need to see the sunshine. Make it a good day. Not everything has to be about politics. Not everything has to be about whatever it is that divides people. Why can't we just have one day or moments in time where we all get together, irrespective of skin color and political views, religious views, whatever the case may be? Why can't we all get together and just be human in the moments? The world is not as bad as the government tries to make it sound. The world is not as bad as media tries to make it sound. Y'all need to learn when to shut that shit off and get out and enjoy life. Step outside when the sun is shining. Listen to the birds chirp. I'm telling you, it sounds beautiful. Go for a walk. There's no one waiting in the fucking bushes. Yeah, yeah. Put the fucking phone down, or take pictures of trees and the sun and the clouds and the birds. Get out. Enjoy life. The world is not bad, folks. It's not. Granted, there are a lot of assholes. You're going to get that anywhere you go. And I'm probably one of them, but I'm only an asshole when I need to be. But you have to get out and see life, because you've only got one shot at this. You've only got one shot. That's it. And I'm trying to make the best of this life that I possibly can. I want to take complete advantage. I want to grab every opportunity that I can to spend time with people that I love and care about. Even if it means boarding a jet to fly to whatever state they live in, to spend time with these people and just to show them that they are loved and cared about. Now, the young man that I had taken to the Shine Circus this past Friday, he knew that someone loved him and cared about him enough to know that he was thought of, and someone wanted to take him to show him a good time. I'm not the only one, but I'm one of them. I can't speak for everybody else, but I can definitely speak for me. And I wanted to show him a good time, and he had a blast. And his smiles and his joys and his excitement, that made the night special, because I was able to provide that for him. There's no nefarious intentions or ill will going on. He had fun. And that was the point. And I had fun. And the three of us and a fourth person, which again, we have yet to determine who that's going to be, We're going to have fun this Friday in Saginaw at the Shrine Circus. We're all going to get out of this house for a few hours. We're going to take our mind off of shit that's been weighing us down for the past week or so, maybe longer, and we're going to have fun. We're going to forget about life for a while, and we're going to just sit back, enjoy the show, and have fun, because that's what it's about. I don't want to sit around for the rest of my life crying and pouting over things I can't change. What's done is done. And while I do have thoughts, I think about my grandpa every day. I think about my aunts and uncles every day. I think about family members and loved ones who are close to me and they're no longer here. Yes, I think about them every single day of my life. There's not a day go by that I don't wake up and I think about them, because I do. It's an everyday occurrence. But I have to live my life too. I have a life to live and I want to live it. Because knowing that I'm not going to live forever is the incentive to wanting to live now. Not later, now. And yes, I have my good and bad days just like anybody else, just like these two sitting right here. We all have our good and bad days. But I want to live for the best days. I want to have as many good days as I can. And life isn't fair, man. I get it. Life sucks. Life is a bitch. Okay? But life can also be good. There's a lot of positive to be had out there. You got to go and look for it. If you can't find it, be it. As they say, if you can't find goodness in the world, become the goodness. Okay, so do it. And yes, in the past, I have been very outspoken about certain individuals on this channel, because for years I've had to sit back and hold my tongue. And I've just to keep the peace, I will be quiet, let them say whatever they want to say. They can project whatever they want to project about me, and that's fine. But I reached a point where I said, enough is enough. I'm not taking this shit anymore. And that's why there's so many daily rant recordings on this channel, because I refuse to sit back and let people run my name into the fucking ground. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And then you get some individuals who get their panties in a bunch because I say the fuck word. Well, big deal. Who else in the world do you know uses the F word? Every person in my life that I have ever known since childhood until now, every single person, every interaction that I've had, doesn't matter who, they can claim to be churchy and pure and all this bullshit. Every person I have ever spoken to in my life has used the F word. It's not a big deal. It's just a fucking word. That's it. And then you get people who they get their panties in a twist, They clutch their pearls. Oh, he can't say that word because it's a bad word. Well, fuck that. I'll say whatever I fucking want to. This is my channel.
You don't like it, walk out.
There's another channel for that, and it's down the hall. I'm not the only channel on YouTube that uses profane language. Although I heard somewhere that YouTube is going to be demonetizing channels if you say an F word within 8 to 15 seconds of the video from the moment the video starts in. They'll demonetize videos for swearing. Well, this channel, I'm not making money off this channel. This channel is not monetized. This is a channel that I've had for quite a long time now. This coming May will be 8 years that I've had this channel, and I've loved every bit of it. You can listen to the Daily Rant recordings that I've recorded in the past, and you can think to yourself, well, this guy really is an asshole. No, I'm not an asshole, but I have had enough.
He can be.
I can be when I have to be.
Yep.
But that's because I've had enough. I'm tired. I have poured my heart and soul out to people over the years, people who I thought would understand. And this one thing that I can totally relate to with these particular individuals. And then the minute they hear something about me, bam, gone. They want to listen to it. They want to believe it. Then they cut me out of their life. It had taken me a long time to understand this, but those people aren't worth the fuck, and that probably perhaps never were. I feel for their children because I'm referring to, of course, the childhood cancer world. Those people, once upon a time, the parents I actually cared about, but I will always, always, always love their children. And I don't care what any of them say about that. Those are my feelings. I am a childhood cancer survivor. I went through the same shit that their kids went through or something similar thereof. And I am not in the mood to be putting up with people who are too stupid and blind to look into things deeper and only believing things at the surface. I'm not putting up with that anymore. That ship has sailed. And with the I'm not someone who is big on New Year's resolutions. These two aren't, as far as I know. I don't want to put words in your guys' mouths here, but I have never heard either one of you engage in New Year's resolutions. I don't.
No, the only thing we say to each other is we hope we're here another year.
I'm not someone who has ever been big on New Year's resolutions, but I decided for myself, because last year was a fucking shit show. I decided that this year I want to get out and do things. I want to live life. I want this to be a year that I will remember and cherish forever. And I don't want to try too hard because I don't want to, overdo it and then mess something up along the way. I want for things to happen naturally and organically. I want to fly out to these locations, wherever it is these people live. I want to fly out and I want to meet these people in person. I want them to have the experiences with me. I want to have lunch with these people. I want to have conversations with these people. And they're not just people in the childhood cancer world. I have friends who are in the acting business. I have friends who are musicians. And we have daily conversations. I want to have the conversations. I want to have the interactions. I want to have the time with these people. Because I'm telling you, life is fleeting. And if I sit back and let the words and actions of other people dictate how I live my life, I'm not living. I got to live for me. There's people out there, plenty of people who want to meet old Jer Bear, and they're going to, and we're going to have fun. We're going to make memories. We're going to have pizza parties. We're going to have conversations. We're going to have interactions like you wouldn't believe. And I can't wait for that to happen. I am looking forward to it. I love my friends and my family, the people that the friends that I actually consider family, because I have actual family who they want shit to do with me, and I'm okay with that because the feeling is mutual. Family is not always blood. You get to pick and choose your family. You can't pick and choose your relatives. That's a whole nother playing field. You can pick and choose your family, though. And I have friends like Joe in chat. He's more family than friends. He's always been like a brother that I never had. Although he's about 16 years my junior, or my senior, actually. I'm sorry. My senior. He's older than me. He's like a brother I never had. And regrettably, I haven't been keeping in contact with him like I should. And that's going to change today. Because Joe is a good man and he deserves to be treated with some dignity and respect. And I will certainly make sure that I modify that because he deserves it. He's a good guy. But I want to sharpen up my friendships with everybody. I want to sharpen all of my friendships. And the people who couldn't love me and the people who want to believe bullshit. And I could rattle off a bunch of fucking names, but you know what? We're in the last 10 minutes of the show already, and I don't want to waste precious, valuable time mentioning people who are now irrelevant to me. Those people, they don't understand, and maybe perhaps they never will. But I am still surrounded with a network of friends that I love and care about more than anything in the world. And that includes my dad and my brothers and my mom and Amy and everybody, Jimmy, everybody. Because we're not going to be here forever. And I want to make sure that the time that I get to spend with my friends and my family is time well spent. And someone's shooting out there.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about? You don't hear the gunshots?
If there's a back here over here,
What are they shooting at?
I agree.
target practice.
As I say, because hunting season's done.
Because deer season's all done.
Yeah, deer
Yeah.
season's over.
Squirrel hunting.
Small game?
Yep.
Okay. That might make better sense. But
Coyote hunting or
I was on a roll with my thoughts, and then I heard guns popping off, and it's like, what the fuck is that? But anyway,
Thank God we don't live in a town where there's a lot of fights.
but anyway, those are my thoughts for this week. Life has been great so far in 2023 for me anyway, and for the people who didn't have the best start to the new year, my advice is to just remain positive, remain optimistic. Things have a way of turning around, and if they don't, I mean, I'm sorry, but last year wasn't a great year for me, for sure. And Joe says that's true. Family is not always blood. That's right, Joe. You're my family. We're not blood related, but you're my family. And that'll remain. But I have learned to let a lot of things go, as difficult as it was. And these two know firsthand, because for the longest time I had talked about these people who just,
You would get depressed and everything.
yeah,
too.
I mean, it broke my heart because I truly loved and cared about certain individuals, and they could just walk out of my life and not give it a second thought to give me a chance. I still think about them. I think about their children who are fighting cancer all the time. But I've had to learn to say fuck it and let these people go so I could get my sanity back. And I would say, since doing that, I think I've been doing pretty good. I've been kind of successful with just living my life, and whatever happens happens. Fuck it. It's nice to just say fuck it. It's liberating. Say fuck it, let it go, whatever happens happens, but I don't want to lose any more friends over bullshit. But I can't control that. That's not my decision to make. I'm going to remain the same person I've always been. Take it or leave it. I would hope that if you're new to this channel that you'll subscribe to my channel, and you might be able to hear more rantings and ramblings from OJ Bear here, because I am truly not someone who's hateful. I love it. I try to give everybody a chance. I love my friends. Couldn't ask for a better network of friends, and I'm surrounded with love every day. I sign on to Facebook. I write out a post. I get all kinds of love on my posts, and people are always interested in reading what I have to say. Matter of fact, I have people approach me in public, like people I'm friends with on Facebook. They'll approach me in public and they say, "Man, I love your post, man. I dig your Facebook post because you really put it out there and I read it." And it's like a Reader's Digest version of what you're trying to say, because you're so eloquent with your language. And that's the idea. It's Facebook. Facebook is 95% textual. And although I've had lots of negative to say about Facebook, I'm also learning how to use it for the positive, and to block people, to have a more judicious use of the block feature on Facebook, much in the same way I've banned and blocked a lot of motherfuckers in my chat log for coming in here being stupid. I've had to learn to just start blocking people. Anybody who costs me my peace or brings grief or tries to start shit, they're history. Permanently. They don't come back. Ever. I've had to learn how to set boundaries and be strict with setting boundaries and not letting people come in to ruin my life and to make my life, or they try to make my life hell. But those people who have tried have failed miserably, because I'm still out here living my best life. They didn't touch me. And the people who left as a result of the gossip, they weren't worth the fuck to keep anyway, obviously, because if they couldn't get to know me, well, that's not my loss. It's theirs. And I'm going to continue living my life for people like Joe, for the two people sitting in this room, and all my friends from all over the world wherever you're watching this from, or if we're friends on Facebook, let's keep this thing going. Life is too short. And I want to live the best life I can with people I love and care about. So we're down to the last minute. Dad, take it away.
All I like to say is be safe out there and take care of everybody. Check on your neighbors. Make sure they're all right.
I didn't realize we were at the 4 o'clock hour already. Amy, how about you? Take it away.
Peace. Peace out. Be safe.
Joe, I'll catch you later, brother.
Enjoy your day.
And to all of you watching at home, thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Sunday video update. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jer Bear. I will be back next week on the 22nd, and I'm probably going to talk more about the Shrine Circus because we have a show coming up in Saginaw this Friday. Tickets are still available. By the way, check Hungry Howie's for coupons so you can get discounts on tickets if you plan on taking your kids to the Shrine Circus. Dow Event Center in Saginaw this Friday, 7 o'clock. That's the first show. So I love you all very much. Thank you for tuning in. Joel, like I said, we'll keep in touch. And have a good week. Much love and take care. Bye.